Have you ever felt like your AI tools just aren't getting it? They can write a brilliant email or generate an image, but they can't actually go out and get the job done. That's because they're not true AI agents. But what if you could have a team of AIs, each with a specialized role, working together to solve a complex problem? That's the future of AI, and in this video, we're diving into the framework making it all possible, Crew AI. We're going beyond the basics to show you how to build your own AI crew and automate entire workflows so you can do more with less. Stick around because this is the second part of our deep dive into Agentic AI, and it's where things get interesting. If you're still using old FANG prep guides, you're already losing ground. The rules have changed, and this free AI playbook shows you what's really being tested in modern FANG interviews, insider strategies, hidden evaluation matrix, a 90-day mastery plan. The exact playbook successful candidates are using right now. Everyone's grabbing it. Don't be the one left behind. Link in description.
Given that we have seen that agentic AI can be used for a variety of real-world use cases, and we also had a chance to see how agentic AI is a little bit different than using just traditional LLMs, let's dive into this Crew AI-based agentic framework or agentic AI framework. So what is Crew AI and what is a Crew AI crew? Essentially, Crew AI is an agentic AI framework that lets you combine the ability of LLMs with the ability of your own custom tools. And a crew essentially represents this collaborative group of agents essentially working together to achieve a set of tasks. Each crew essentially has a particular strategy for task and agent collaboration, and each crew also orchestrates how different agents interact with each other. Some of the key components of a crew are agents who are essentially specialized AI workers, and we'll see what those are with very specific roles. Tasks are essentially specific goals that these agents are expected to accomplish, and then process flow, which is essentially an order in which these agents should perform their actions. So we'll see all of these components of agents, tasks, and processes, and how you combine all of them together using Crew AI framework. So let's say for now that you want to research a particular topic, and once you have identified a particular topic, let's say you want to write a blog about this particular research topic that you have identified. And once you have written this blog article, you want to summarize this article in a few words such that this can be posted to a social media. So you want to get this blog article ready for a social media post. So how can you take all of these steps? Step 1, which is researching a topic. Step 2, which is writing a 300-word article about this topic using the latest information, and also then summarizing this 300-word article into a social media ready post. How can we integrate all of this with using a low-code framework? So let's look at that. Later, we'll go through a Crew AI demo, and specifically that in that demo, we'll break that demo down into a few steps. The first thing that I'll go through is showing what the purpose of this notebook is, which essentially, as we mentioned on the previous slide, is generate research associated with the topic that you have identified, generate content, generate a social media ready post based off of that content, and then also a blog article. We'll quickly look at how to set up certain libraries, certain dependencies for Crew AI. We'll see how to write agents and tasks, and eventually we'll see how to combine all of these agents and tasks and the tools to build our crew, which is which is essentially a group of AI agents, and see how they function together to achieve all of these things that we seek to achieve. And once all of our agents are ready with all the tools access, we will essentially be giving them tasks to run, which is identify research associated with the topic, write an article, and then generate a social media ready post. Right. So how does Crew AI do this content generation? Crew AI, as I mentioned previously, orchestrates specialized AI functions, or AI agents in this case, to work on a single prompt that you provide to these AI agents. And unlike just one-to-one approaches, you can have all of these agents do different things based on the prompts that you have provided. So Crew allows you to divide a complex complex task into small chunks and identify agents who are specialized at solving one thing very well. And that helps you maintain a certain context. For example, if you want an agent who is very good at calling weather API and getting the latest weather in the city, then you don't have to give an LLM any extra information but just the weather. And that essentially makes sure that you are always maintaining context. Finally, you are able to, because you have multiple agents who are focused on doing one thing correctly, you are able to scale the system efficiently because you don't have the need for having a large in-memory context. Each of these agents can have their own small specialized context, and so that helps scaling your solution efficiently. So again, typically the way an information would flow through this AI agent essentially is as follows. You give this AI agent a particular research prompt that you are interested in. This research-based AI agent will select a prompt and identify information associated with it. This will essentially then lead us to give information to the next agent, which is, let's say, a writer who will give a write-up associated with the research topic that you have identified. And finally, if you want to post this thing to a social media, you will have a social media agent who is able to also post it directly to social media. And essentially, this loop will keep on running again and again. Some of the critical components of AI are the user input, which essentially is a human readable prompt. For example, let's say you want to research health AI used in healthcare. So a simple prompt like AI in healthcare can be your user input. The next component is Crew AI Orchestrator, which is essentially a list of agents, a list of tools, a list of task. And finally, based off of the output from all of these different components, we get the final output, which essentially is a research report and a summary and also social media ready content. So this orchestrator is a central intelligence that ensures that each agent receives the right information at the right time. Each agent is doing one task very well. All of those things are essentially controlled by the Crew AI orchestrator. So let's go through some of the agents that we will see today in our demo. The first agent that we discussed that we'll need is a researcher, right? Because you want to identify a research topic and see how that particular agent is able to generate specific research. We will equip the researcher with this tool called Serper. Serper essentially is a web API which enables you to perform Google search programmatically. We will enable this researcher with essentially a Google tool. You can imagine that this researcher is essentially a person who has access to google.com. So this agent will be able to perform deep research across any topic that you specify. It will filter and prioritize information based on relevance or what it finds on Google, and then it will communicate all of these results back to you in a human readable format. So that's our agent researcher. The next agent that we want is the writer, because once you have identified a list of articles for research, you want to write a blog article about them. And so the key capabilities associated with this agent can be processing the research documents from agent 1, identifying what are the good documents, what are the bad documents, key insights and patterns in the data, structuring all of this information for human in a human readable format, and then generating a report based on what it has found for the intended audience. So essentially, the analyst or the writer, you can think of that as a human analyst or writer, right, who essentially takes raw information, raw research, and condenses it into a compelling, structured format while maintaining factual accuracy. And finally, we want a social media strategy. So what does a social media agent do? The social media agent essentially would take all of the previous blog article, summarize key points from that blog article, and create a summary associated with the research that is fit for a LinkedIn or Twitter or any other social media post. So that's the goal for the social media agent essentially. When we look at the demo, we'll essentially look at how we configure these different agents. we will look at how we configure different tasks associated with these agents. And once we have the agents and the tasks, we will see how you can combine all of these agents and all of these tasks into a crew orchestration and assemble a crew that essentially can function in parallel to do all of the end-to-end process, the complex end-to-end process. Once we have executed our framework in an end-to-end manner, we will essentially see an output like this. The researcher will essentially get 5 insights associated with the prompt that you give. And again, there is no specific web tool that you have given here. It only relies on knowledge.
If you like this video, you will love what I have to say next. The 14-week Agentic AI program at Interview Kickstart helps engineers build real career-ready skills. You'll work on 2 live projects with FANG instructors and leave with portfolio work that actually makes a difference in hiring. Over 20,000 tech professionals have already trained with Interview Kickstart, with many moving into roles paying $300,000 plus. Want to learn more? Join the free upcoming webinar, ask questions, meet the instructors, and see if it's a fit. Not ready yet? No problem. Start with the AI agent building videos here on the YouTube channel. We recommend this one. Either way, the key is to just get started.